The whole world saw firsthand that Stephen Curry is an insanely good player and could already be one of the true greats the sport has ever seen.
Puts it up.
When Team USA went through its fair share of struggles during the Olympics, there was only one man who stepped up to the plate and delivered. We're talking about the greatest shooter of all time, Stephen Curry, who saved his best international performances for the two most important games in USA basketball history. But it wasn't just about his scoring, but more about the timing of his shooting and just how unbelievable some of his shots were. So, if you want to know just how insane Curry is, it's best for you to stick around and find out more about what solidified his place as one of basketball's true GOATs. A lot of people were surprised that at 36 years old, Stephen Curry made his first appearance in the Olympics. He missed the last two Olympic Games due to injuries and the COVID-19 uncertainty. But with everything on the line for USA basketball, he finally suited up to help form the USA Avengers together with LeBron James and Kevin Durant as the three greatest players of the modern era. They led arguably the most talented Team USA roster we've ever seen. But while Team USA went to Paris to secure its place as the uncontested giant of basketball, the entire world got to see why Golden State Warriors fans believe that Curry's right up there with some of the greatest players of all time.
Clock winding down. Curry.
Everyone knows that Stephen Curry is like a cheat code in basketball, thanks to his insane three-point shooting and ability to make shots off the dribble. His presence alone is enough to scare teams because they have to make sure to keep one or two defenders focused on him. But when he's playing alongside the best American players, it takes things to a whole new level. When Curry announced he was joining Team USA for the Paris Olympics, it was clear he was going to be a game changer. The roster was already stacked with stars like LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis, Devin Booker, and Anthony Edwards. Adding Curry and having Steve Kerr as the coach meant the competition was pretty much doomed, especially because there's no other coach who knows how to use Curry more than his Golden State Warriors coach. In regular NBA games, Curry always draws attention, which opens up opportunities for his teammates. That's why he helped the Warriors win 4 championships. Defenses are so focused on him that his teammates can find open shots. Role players enjoyed playing with Curry because they could simply spot up outside the three-point line or cut to the basket when defenders were a bit too worried about the greatest shooter in the world killing them from beyond the arc. Now, picture the best American players teaming up with the ultimate shooting machine. And with the three-point line closer under FIBA rules, Curry's impact is even more dramatic. We already know what Steph can do when playing with two other all-time great shooters. Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson were basically having the time of their lives shooting open shots when Curry was attracting too much attention. But if he's playing with 4 other stars, that just makes things unfair because no opposing defense would dare to double anyone on the floor as long as Curry is there. But at the start of the Olympics, Curry didn't seem like the unstoppable force everyone expected. In the opening game against Serbia, he had a decent 11 points, hitting 3 of 7 three-pointers, while LeBron and KD stole the spotlight.
Curry gets it up from the wing, knocks it down.
Curry's performance against South Sudan was even worse, with just 3 points and a goose egg from beyond the arc. For a guy known for making impossible shots, this was a shocker. Things didn't improve much in the next game against Puerto Rico, where Curry managed only 8 points, making just 2 of 6 three-pointers. Then, against Brazil in the quarterfinals, he had a quiet 7 points and missed his only three-point attempt. Despite the win, the questions about his performance kept piling up. After 4 games, he was averaging just 7.25 points and shooting a dismal 25% from 3. Not exactly the numbers you'd expect from the greatest shooter of all time. This made people question whether or not having Curry on the starting lineup and playing heavy minutes was the best decision for Kerr, especially if he wants to win the gold medal. Throughout the tournament, Coach Kerr mixed up the lineup, sometimes leaving players out to match up against better opponents. For instance, Jason Tatum missed both games against Serbia, and Joel Embiid didn't play against South Sudan. Tyrese Halliburton, a breakout star a year ago, appeared in only 3 games because of his poor defense. Despite this, Curry kept starting and playing heavy minutes, leading to speculation about favoritism or Kerr's system favoring shooters.
Pass out here for Curry. He doesn't even need to look.
After all, if Steph wasn't playing well, Kerr should have just opted to give some of his minutes to Tatum or Halliburton. But Curry's presence was more than just about his own scoring. It's always about a matter of gravity. He's arguably the greatest player of all time because he pulls defensive attention toward him with or without the ball in his hands. Even when he's close to the half-court line, he draws defensive attention. Regardless of his shooting woes, he is the ideal player to pull defenders away from other stars, giving them more room to operate. LeBron shot 66% from the floor, and Durant shot 54% overall and 51.9% from three, thanks in part to Curry drawing attention. Basically, everyone on the roster enjoyed great shooting percentages because there was a guy who made opposing defenses think twice about sending an extra defender toward another star. And we've seen in the NBA what guys like Embiid, LeBron, and KD could do if there's no help defense making life difficult for them. Still, if Team USA wanted to win the tournament, Curry needed to be impactful not just in terms of his presence, but also his numbers. Then came the semi-final against Serbia, where Curry finally hit his stride. Despite Serbia's strong defense and hot shooting, Curry scored 14 of the team's first 15 points and ended the game with 36 points, including 9 of 14 from three-point range. He was clutch in the final moments, helping secure the win with a crucial three-pointer. In fact, Team USA wouldn't have won that game had it not been for Curry. It might be true that LeBron, KD, and Embiid helped the Americans in that comeback in the fourth quarter. But if Curry didn't play as well as he did the entire game, the Serbian lead would have been too big to overcome. That's why Curry's 36 points were more important than any of the clutch baskets the other stars hit in the game. But his best was yet to come. In the gold medal game against France, Curry was on fire once more. The greatest shooter in the world continued hitting three-pointer after three-pointer, including a corner shot over the outstretched 8-foot wingspan of the 7'4" Victor Wembanyama. More importantly, he hit key shots early and scored 16 points in the final 3 minutes.
Up to Curry, waits for his moment.
Finishing with 24 points and 8 three-pointers, Curry's late-game heroics helped Team USA secure the gold. But the most insane part about that performance was those clutch baskets. France was knocking down on Team USA's doors, trimming the lead to 3 points. But when the Americans needed someone to step up, Curry more than willingly took the opportunity to prove why he's the greatest shooter of all time. It started with tough three-pointers that only got tougher and tougher until the last clutch shot he hit. With the shot clock winding down and with under 40 seconds left, Curry gave the ball to Durant, who quickly gave it back to his former teammate because he knew that there was no one hotter than the chef at that point in the game. LeBron was open near the left wing, and he was visibly puzzled as to why Durant gave the ball to Curry. Meanwhile, Steph dribbled behind his back to gain separation from Nick Batum, a talented defender. Durant's man knew what was about to happen and promptly helped out his teammate to double Curry.
Durant, back to Curry.
Take note that this defender left Kevin Durant, one of the greatest scorers and shooters the game has ever seen, to double-team Curry. That speaks volumes of how scary Steph's shooting ability is, and how defenders are much more afraid of him killing them from the outside. In fact, in that very play, 2 American players were wide open because France wanted to keep the ball out of Curry's hands. Still, the help defense was too late. Steph hoisted a fading three-point shot over 2 defenders to drain the most impossible clutch shot you could ever see in international competition. This was the dagger that killed France as Curry hit his signature night-night celly. Soon after, LeBron and everyone else on the team hit the celly as well as they all witnessed a different kind of greatness. That shot is probably the greatest in the history of USA basketball when you look at the degree of difficulty, timing, and the importance of that three-pointer. Despite a slow start, Curry ended up leading the USA in scoring for the tournament with an average of 14.8 points. He and LeBron were named to the Olympic Mythical Five. His last 2 games were a testament to his ability to turn things around in spectacular fashion. Even Anthony Edwards joked that Curry arrived a bit too late to Paris because he woke up only in the last 2 games. Nevertheless, his huge games came at the most important stages of the tournament. Truth be told, Team USA didn't need Curry scoring and shooting well in the group stages. but they needed him to be at his best when it mattered the most. This is one of the things people often forget about Curry. Critics say that he doesn't have the clutch gene, but the fact that he saved American basketball not once, but twice proves that he's a clutch performer and that he can ball at his best when the game is on the line. The gold medal, which he won in the most spectacular way possible, also adds another layer to his greatness. Everyone knows he's the greatest shooter of all time, and that's not even up for debate.
Curry comes back. And puts the US ahead.
But people question his place as one of the greatest players to ever play the sport. Up to this day, it's still a debate whether or not he has surpassed Magic Johnson as the greatest point guard of all time. Nevertheless, what he proved in the tournament was that he could very well be one of the top 10 greatest players of all time already. We're talking about the elite of the elite, such as Michael Jordan, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and LeBron James, among others. With 4 championships, 2 MVPs, and a gold medal, Steph is likely in that GOAT club already. The scariest part is that his career is not done yet, and it doesn't even look like he's slowing down. As insane as that Olympic performance was, this is probably the most success Curry is going to see over the next year. We know that he's returning to a tough situation in Golden State, especially after Klay Thompson left a huge hole on that team. Steph is getting older, and so is Draymond Green. Outside of Jonathan Kuminga, there aren't a lot of young players who could step up and help Curry carry the Warriors. Nevertheless, as long as Steph keeps on doing what he does while his teammates do the dirty work, the possibility of another championship is not zero. The chances are low, but anything can still happen between now and the end of the 2024-25 regular season. He may or may not win another title in the future. But the fact is that we are all witnesses to his greatness, and there will never be another Stephen Curry ever again.